What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Real Talk NFT, where we talk all things Web3. Super excited to have on today Michael Goldstein, lead community manager for VaynerSports Pass, which is a utility-first sports NFT project. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, just looking forward to chatting VSP and NFTs.
Awesome. I was trying to track you guys down at VCon, and I was at the booth. I didn't do all the activations, but I just really wanted to talk about the project because I have a VSP or a few of them. Actually, like I mentioned, I was at VCon, so I have a V friends, and also big fan of Gary V. I got his a Fly Fish Club NFT also. So yeah, I know a lot about the other projects. What's funny is that VaynerSports Pass is something that I like more in my real life. I love sports, but for some reason I've been so drowned in other stuff that VaynerSports Pass. It's great to have you on to talk about all the details of it.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of my main job. I always say my role is to make sure that everyone who is a VSP holder or in the community is both happy and informed about what's going on. Mm-hmm. So just engaging in conversation with holders, with outside people. I love doing that. Love just speaking to people, especially about sports, about NFTs. So yeah, just really looking forward to chatting.
Nice. We're gonna have some fun then. Well, before we get started, tell us about you and how you got into Vayner.
Yeah. So I have a bit of a story on how I landed from where I came from and then to where I am now with VaynerSports Pass. So I actually graduated from college in May 21 with a marketing degree and data analytics. So I knew I wanted to get into the agency world, specifically within social media. Felt like that was where my career was headed. And I actually applied for an entry-level marketing position at VaynerMedia. I was a fan of Gary's. I wouldn't say I watched his content so often, but he was definitely on the list of companies that I really wanted to work for. I had a referral there. I got the job.
Cool.
And throughout that summer, I was working in that entry-level position that started as part-time, transitioned to full-time. And while I'm working at this company, Gary from the top down is just pushing down NFTs to like the whole company. Every single company-wide call, he's talking about them in newsletters, and it just piqued my curiosity where I have to see what this thing's about. And as I started getting into more and more, I realized that I actually wanted to really be in this field full time. I actually started my own charity NFT project called Typical Tigers, where we raised over $30,000.
Is that in the background?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Okay.
The artwork right there. Yeah. So yeah, I've released a small collection of Typical Tigers charity NFT project, and I realized that I was really good at going on Twitter Spaces, speaking to people, just growing community, and I was lucky enough to be able to have access to Gary working at the company. I went right up to him and said, I want to do NFTs full time. And so I had like a small little 15-minute meeting scheduled with him. And this was kind of like, I think the craziest meeting I think I've ever had in my life, where the first 7 minutes was me and him going back and forth as far as like, all right, what do you want to do? And I explained to him I wanted some kind of community manager role within Vayner NFT, it was called at the time, now called Vayner 3. And he's like, all right, I think I understand where this meeting is going. We have so this is him speaking right now. He says, we have 8 minutes left in this meeting. Either we could continue to chat, we could talk about whatever, or I'm going to hang up on you right now and help get you what you want.
Cool.
I said, I'll see ya. Hangs up the phone. 2 minutes later, I get an email from the president of Vayner 3, Vayner NFT, Avery Akineni, saying like, hey, let's connect. I heard you're looking for a position. Just spoke to Gary. She connected me with AJ, who at the time, 1 month prior, had just launched VaynerSports Pass, looking for more help. And it was just right opportunity, right time. And ever since then, I've been with AJ, Gary's brother, obviously, working on VaynerSports Pass, just growing community.
Cool. So you definitely have experience launching your own NFT project, which was exciting. And tell us about how it's been. Tell us about, well, before we get into VaynerSports Pass, there's, you mentioned AJ. I'm not sure, you can clarify. Is it AJ and Gary runs his sports agency? Tell us about VaynerSports.
Sure. So what's very interesting is the way that the kind of Vayner ecosystem works, right, is at the top of it is VaynerX, the holding company. That's Gary's company. Under it, he has all his little sectors of entrepreneurial businesses. The main chunk being VaynerMedia, his marketing agency. You have Vayner 3, his wine company, VFriends, Sasha Group, which is a smaller agency, Gallery Media. All of those little pieces are different chunks of VaynerX, the holding company.
Mm-hmm.
Now, VaynerSports is actually the one Vayner entity that is not attached to VaynerX.
Oh, wow.
And the reason for that is part owner of VaynerX is Stephen Ross, who's a co-owner of the Miami Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'd be a conflict of interest for someone like that to be under a sports agency.
Oh,
so
interesting. Yeah.
Gary really, I mean, he obviously has visibility into VaynerSports, but as far as on paper and who runs it, it's all AJ and his co-CEO, Greg Ginsky, who mainly runs the baseball side of things.
I see. Well, personal question. I saw that there's no basketball athletes yet. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, so just recently, actually, around a month ago, we just opened up Vayner Basketball.
Oh, okay.
Headed by Bay Frazier. He's, I believe he was Carmelo Anthony's agent manager. So we have things on the horizon, but basketball is a now growing sport. I believe AJ is certified to be an agent in that. So yeah, we're in the process of building Vayner Basketball from the ground up. It's something that we've been wanting to do for a long time now, and finally opened up that division. And so definitely got some exciting news on the horizon.
Got it. Yeah, I was very curious because I'm such a big basketball fan, being from the Bay. And yeah, not seeing a basketball athlete within your stable yet was an interesting question. So, but good to hear that you guys are in it. So maybe I'll see you at NBA Con next year, or maybe different conferences around there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, tell us about VaynerSports Pass now. It's been out for how long now? It's been over a year, gotta be.
Yeah, it's been like 15 months. We launched in April 22. April 22.
Yeah, tell us about it. What was maybe it's the same, the original mission and vision of VaynerSports Pass, and if that's changed at all.
Yeah, so I think what's very unique about VaynerSports Pass is it's built on top of VaynerSports, the highly reputable sports agency, representing 150 plus athletes, mainly across football, MMA, gaming, and baseball. And what VaynerSports Pass essentially does is it, in one sentence, it leverages the network of VaynerSports, provide utility and value to the holders and investors of VaynerSports Pass. So the VaynerSports Pass is essentially an NFT membership pass.
Yeah.
You own this pass, you will be able to try and get access to premier sporting events around the world. So in a nutshell, we're really the premier utility sports NFT project. And to date, we've sent probably 500 plus holders to 50 or 60 different sporting events in just those first 15 months short span of time. And so the way it works, just getting into a bit of the more details, is each VaynerSports Pass NFT has different sports icons on them in the different four corners of the rectangle pass. And those icons determine your eligibility for which sports you're able to enter raffles in and gain utility for. So let's just run this through an example. Say we have 25 tickets to a Yankees baseball game, and we want to give those away to our baseball holders. In order for you to enter in that raffle and try and go to that event, you have to hold a baseball VaynerSports Pass. So a VaynerSports Pass NFT that has a baseball icon in one of the corners there. And the more passes you have, the more ping pong balls you have in the raffle once we randomly draw those winners. And what's unique specifically about VaynerSports Pass is we don't just send the holders to a baseball game. We get them access on the field, whether it's with AJ or with one of the athletes that we represent, right? So, for example, we did this at a Yankees versus Cubs game. We repped Cubs relief pitcher, Rowan Wick. Rowan Wick got the holders that were going to that game on the field, gave them signed baseballs, got them in a suite. Those are specific instances of sporting events that we send our holders to that money can't really buy.
Right. Yeah, I love sports NFTs personally. I have on a NLL merchandise. It's Nine Lives Lounge, NBA Top Shot. And yeah, the experiences in real life versus digital are the ones that I remember the most. I just came back from Vegas, NBA Con, and they had a lot of activations on there. So with the 500 people that's being I see that you have global events, which is something that not most NFT projects have. Can you tell us about your reach there? I've seen, all over the world.
Yeah. I mean, I would say we definitely have a decent international contingent. Specifically, I know like Toronto has been a very, very active and passionate group within VSP. They've done so many just community meetups. We've activated at Blue Jays games there, Maple Leafs games. But internationally, you know, we try and spread out also all across the world. We've done NBA game in Paris. We've done a UFC fight in Brazil. We've done Prem League games. We've done golf tournaments all across the world. We really try and make sure that the people that invest that aren't from the US also are able to gain value. I would say majority of the events we do in the US. That is where our main community is, but we definitely don't want to neglect the people that are from out of the US.
Got it. And just to play devil's advocate a little bit, how difficult or easy is it to onboard new players right now? Well, loaded question here in this market, and also because it might be a tough sell to even sports enthusiasts like myself, because the percentages of winning is kind of tough, right? There's got to be, or hopefully there's some other benefits. If not, what's the challenge, or is it pretty simple just to get people to look at VSP right now?
Sure. When it comes to NFT projects, right? Every NFT project right now is going to struggle with onboarding in this current market. You're not really seeing a lot of people coming in. Doesn't provide a lot of liquidity in that aspect. When it comes to VSP, I would say that that's not our target market going forward. I would say that we're looking to onboard the more business tech savvy sports fan that's willing to invest a little in order to get extra value, which is why we're within VSP to address your point of, you know, with these raffles, people have a low chance of winning. We're actually in the process of transitioning our entire ecosystem to go from a raffle-based system to a more points reward-based system, where you kind of be earning points from your VSPs and use those points to bid on certain events and maybe enter raffles with those points. So instead of the case of we're giving away 4 tickets to a baseball game and thousands of VSPs are just entering because your VSP at this point, you know, you could enter any raffle as long as you're eligible for. But we kind of went to the drawing board and said, if people had a little bit more skin in the game, you know, if they had a limited availability of points, but still rewarded properly, they wouldn't be just spending their points all the time on every event. So if we're activating at a game in Chicago and you're not willing to maybe go to that event, you won't enter that raffle because you won't spend your points there. So the points that we're awarding these people, they'll want to bid and they'll want to go to these specific events.
Got it. Yeah. So in real life events is one big thing. I saw you guys also throwing out contests and whatnot. Yep. Was that always the mission, was in real life events? You talk about utility based. Utility is a word that's thrown around a lot in NFT land, as you can imagine. Yep. What's some other activations that may be in the works or that has happened that I'm not aware of?
Yep. So I would say as far as like VaynerSports Pass's competitive advantage in just the entire sports industry and NFT industry, I would say in real life experiences is where we strive the most. I mean, yes, a lot of the NFT world is built digitally. That's why AJ always says that our project is in between Web3 and Web2, kind of a Web 2.5 experience, right? We collect people's emails. We send people to in real life events. It's not specifically only geared towards the digital aspect. And so that's why I would say the experiences is what we do best. As far as other stuff that we do besides for the experiences, we've been doing a lot of weekly, now turned to monthly AMAs with our VaynerSports Athletes, whether that's on Twitter Spaces or on Discord. We often activate at a lot of the playoff competitions that have been going on within the entire sports realm. So, for example, for the World Cup that we did last summer, every single VaynerSports Pass holder that held a soccer NFT was airdropped a random team NFT, right? So there was 30-something different NFTs. Each NFT represented a different team. The farther that team went, the more prizes they'd be winning. We did that competition for March Madness, the NBA playoffs, NHL, NFL. Cool little fun digital NFT sports-based activation. We've done we've given away some signed sports memorabilia, doing some POAP raffles from the AMAs. So kind of a mix between the IRL experience and the digital aspect of it. Got it.
A lot of these are in collaboration with sports and different types of sports. Is there anything that's going to happen with Vayner by itself?
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, maybe an annual meeting or I know you said local meetups, but is there an event that's happened or will happen?
Yeah, so we do a lot of like city-based meetups. We really want to encourage people to grow their communities, find the people that have often like similar characteristics to them within their city. So, for example, what we've done is we've kind of given a budget to each, like a few different people within each city to just throw events to get people together in their city. So, for New York, for example, just last week, we gave them a $2,000 budget to have 25 plus VSP holders, and AJ was there, I was there, a few of the VSP team members, and just come together and have a good time, talk about whether it be just about sports or about the VSP project, how we can improve. And we've done this in New York. I know Toronto is in the process of planning to go to a baseball game, something that we're funding there. The way that we view it is the more times that the VSP community members gather together in person, whether that's at a bar or a restaurant or at a sports game, the better we're doing as a job, because that's what people want, right? They want, what value do you get from holding this NFT or this asset? It's the community. It's gathering together at sporting events, which I think we do a really, really good job at. And especially when you compare to what people are getting from holding other assets, I think that that's something where, again, we have that competitive advantage over.
Got it. Well, I'm going to apply for the San Francisco chapter and $10,000 funding because it's very expensive here for our meetup. Yeah, that'd be great.
San Francisco holders, and we've done one or two LA meetups. We've activated at Golden State Warriors games. We've done obviously Super Bowl in Arizona, so a lot of the West Coast stuff. But would love to have you on board with that.
Yeah, nice. Wow, you did Warrior stuff. Yeah, I went to a lot of Warrior stuff with Top Shot. So yeah, it'd be great if you guys can get there. I can double dip. Tell us about this $100,000 contest. I found about it too late. I found out about it at VCon. Is that going to happen again, or is it an annual thing? What is that?
So this was AJ's dream. I know. So AJ's a big Survivor fan. You know, the reality TV show, Survivor style competition, and so I think he really wanted to channel his inner Jeff Probst, who's the host of the show. So what wildcard game is? So within VSP, as I was mentioning, the different sports icons on the pass determine your eligibility into different raffles. Well, out of the now 12,505 VSPs within that collection, only 97 of them have no icons whatsoever. They're just blank VSPs. Right. Those are what we call wild cards. They have access into every single raffle that we host, whether it's baseball, basketball, soccer, gaming, they can enter all of it. And the little cherry on top, and honestly, or not really the cherry, it's kind of the main aspect of it, is they have access to what we call wildcard game. So the way wildcard game works is, so within those 97 passes, there were like 54 unique holders, and those 54 holders competed across 4 different rounds. Each round, we were eliminating people until we were down to our final 5. And with those 5 people, we flew out to Las Vegas in Iskaya, and we did an in real life like competition, whether it was like sports stuff, puzzle games, and all that. And so it started out with the 54 people. They played a little online memory game that we did in partnership with Internet Game. Those 54 got cut down to around like 30. Then in the second round, we did like a mega sports pick'em. It was a crazy sports weekend with like World Cup games and March and so much basketball stuff. And NFL, it was like a crazy sports weekend. So we had them pick like 60 different games and then only like the top 20 events. And then in the third round, we did a sports trivia where we did a private and a public contest, and we combined both scores. And throughout the entire competition, at any time, you could take a buyout. So if you got to round 2 and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to win round 2, go to round 3, we offered everyone like a small ETH amount to buy out. And it was just a fun competition where the grand prize winner won $100,000. We posted that YouTube video that was excellently produced. Shout out to our video content crew and Brandon Hatcher, who was our lead video creator. He did an awesome job with all those edits. And yeah, so wildcard game is promised for 3 years.
Wow.
So we got this year just passed, and the next 2 years we have. We are on the record for stating that for wildcard game year 2, it is going to be fully digital. So there isn't going to be in-person event like there was in Vegas where people were flown out and they competed and all that, but still plan on making it big.
Got it. Was the winner from California, I heard?
So the winner was not doxed. So
Okay.
their identity
Or
request
a runner up or something
private.
like that. Okay.
So if you see the video, a lot of their face is blurred because they
Oh,
asked from the beginning that they didn't want to be publicly shown.
got it. Okay. I might have heard that from in person
Yeah.
at the VCon.
Yeah.
Cool. You know what I think would be really cool, and I don't work for Vayner at all, but if the icons, specific sports, had a similar contest in a smaller way, maybe on a monthly, quarterly, yearly basis, that'd be great for activation, I feel, because I don't have a wild card. I'm not sure how much it costs on the secondary market.
Yeah. So I think we kind of do accomplish that in the way with the playoff competitions. So with those playoff competitions, again, if you owned a basketball VSP, for free, you were airdropped a team NFT that represented one of the teams in the NBA playoffs. And the farther that team went, the more prizes you were entered in. And if you held the winning team, so for example, if you held the Denver Nuggets NFT team, then there was like 20 different people that held that same NFT, obviously, because we got to airdrop more of them. Everyone was guaranteed a prize. Some of them were shipped custom VaynerSports Pass basketballs. We gave away some Alien Friends NFTs. We gave away some grand prize NFTs for like stipends to future games.
Nice.
So we've been doing those mini competitions that really sparks like people's engagement and activity, because playoffs is when I feel like the true fandom comes out. And everyone was kind of talking about their different teams and who they think we're going to win. But I mean, again, the more activations and the more competitions we have within the community is definitely what we want to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, let me ask you, what's some of the biggest lessons you've learned in the year-ish that you guys been out? I imagine it's difficult because the community wants a smaller holder count, so they have more chances of winning, right? But at the same time, the project wants to expand, onboard more people. I'm thinking, how do you juggle that? What's some of the biggest lessons you've learned since you guys launched?
Yep. So it's tough. It's obviously hard, especially when you're dealing with an NFT bear market where a lot of the people are down on their investment. And oftentimes that unfortunately does bring out some complications and different kind of personalities with that. And so managing the community and expectations and speculation is something that we're always trying to work on. AJ's never been known to be the one that causes the crazy hype and the mass speculation. We really want to shift our holders' mindset from a financial investment standpoint to a more product-based standpoint. So, you pay your Netflix subscription every month because you like to watch TV shows. We want to shift the mindset of you're paying for VaynerSports Pass because you want to benefit in the sports realm. Obviously, it's a financial asset that people expect to go up, but it's our job to make sure that if the price isn't going up, then these people are benefiting from the sports manner of it. And so that's why we're making that shift from all of the raffle based, which you mentioned very fairly that it's not a likely chance to win. Oftentimes when people win, they don't even end up going because they just enter it and realize that they can't attend. So we want to host, instead of fewer events that have less people that are more premier, we'd rather host more frequent local events where some of them are premier, but most of them are just, again, getting people to those sport events, which is why we're transitioning from the raffles to the point-based system where we'll be, if we realize, hey, we have 15 different people that are from Minnesota, let's activate at a Twins game and we'll, make them pay minimal points in order to go there. And bang, they're getting their value from that, just that one time. And then later on, we see, oh, wait, we actually have a lot of people living in Dallas. Let's activate at a Cowboys game. Maybe we have a Cowboys VaynerSports athlete that'd be willing to show some people on the field. And we could do these things at a much faster rate under this point system, because with the raffle system, we have so much legal troubles that people don't even realize, just from regular holders that are just seeing us put out there. VSP spends thousands of dollars in legal fees to make sure that all the raffles have sweepstakes, rules bonded to them. They're even taxed on some of their winnings. And so we realize a lot of the complications with the current raffle system that we have, the two being the legal aspect of it, with all the rules, and the tax aspect of it. And that's why we're making this big transition that I believe is really going to help the VSP community to just get more holders to more sporting events. The more holders we send to events, the better we're doing.
Got it. And you touched on a question I wasn't going to ask, but I'm curious now.
Yep.
With the, the NFT royalties being the way it is, are you guys going to create your own bespoke marketplace? I imagine that unless you launch new NFTs, it'll be hard to fund, future endeavors, even though you guys did quite well on the initial launch.
Yeah. I mean, royalties has obviously been a very, very touchy subject within all NFT projects. I was personally and this is like just me speaking, like I was pretty upset with the fact that royalties were taken away. Not because I'm on the project side, mainly because it discourages the mutual beneficial relationship of
right.
If the price goes up for you, the price goes up for me, both on the creator and innovator side. I think it really discourages some innovation on that aspect. But the free market has spoken, and the free market says we don't want royalties. So AJ has said oftentimes he doesn't necessarily just want to start a new contract, migrate it. I think it causes a lot of issues. We've seen some other projects do it, some of them seamlessly, some of them not so seamlessly. What I think would be the best case scenario is, and this is something that's in the works but isn't 100% confirmed, is where VSP builds its own custom marketplace on the same contract, but we can enforce a royalty, a small percentage royalty, obviously, on our custom marketplace, and even reward them with points if they would be purchasing VSPs on that specific marketplace. Use those points to go to those events that they want to do.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking that to incentivize your community to trade within your bespoke marketplace. And I see a lot of brands probably move in that direction because as a community member, I think that's fair. You're offering benefits. You can't offer benefits for free. It's a business, Yeah. Everyone will go bankrupt. We just give out free stuff all day, every day. So good to hear your insights onto that.
For sure. I mean, at the end of the day, right, VSP, us as an NFT project, we are a business, right? And we obviously need to have a consistent revenue stream in order to constantly fund the events that we're doing, right? We're activating on a weekly basis. I mean, summertime's been a little bit of a down period because, sports aren't as popping in the summer as it is in the fall and winter and spring. But we are a business, right? And at the end of the day, we need a revenue stream. And royalties are now no longer that revenue stream. And so we're coming up with now creative ways to fund the project while also providing value. And with this new point system where you'll be able to, get your initial release of points based on purchasing something, whether that's on a one-time basis and a consistent time basis, it'll allow us to keep funding in and rewarding our holders in a constant loop.
Got it. And a last question for you. Yep. Just to wrap things up, what's some of the goals for, the next year? What's success look like wrapping up 2023? Is there anything that you would like to see happen? I mean, we're not going to hold you to it because you're not AJ. Let us know.
Yeah. I think success for VSP is getting the average sports fan that is a little bit business and tech savvy to see the product that we're building, be intrigued, and want to come into this community and want to spend their time and energy within the people that we have right now. I would say that the Web3 NFT degen might not necessarily be that target, but the sports fans around us, we know based on like the stuff that we've been activating on, the events that we've been doing, the feedback that we've been getting, sports fans would want to benefit from the things that we put out there. It's our job to make sure that they see what we're doing and that they want to come on board to, again, not be onboarded onto Web3, but onboarded to a sports rewards membership program that is the first of its kind. So for us, success is really executing a product and creating a product and marketing a product that your sports fan would want to be involved with. And we're working our hardest right now to make sure that we get that in the right place. But also, of course, always making sure that our OG Web3 NFT holders are always taken care of and making sure that they're benefiting.
Got it. Yeah, I'm an OG holder, and I'm a little bit different than your original or like your standard VSP holder because I hold everything. This is my job. I'm in every Discord. So for me, I was a little bit, I'm not as connected to VSP as I would love to be. But when I saw you guys with the online activations and everything, it really made me want to be a part of it. And hearing about the new change in the raffle system, turning it into, more loyalty and activation base, I think I'll be a lot more active. And one thing for me, and this is very Web 2, but I love email updates. I think a lot of those would help me get involved in the community. If any feedback at all, you guys might already have that. I might have just missed that.
So we do email updates actually. I don't know. I mean, did you? So this is like separate, right? Did you sign up for our raffle tech?
I believe I have.
So if you have an email there, all right, I could go back into like podcast mode right now. So what we did actually in order to get feedback on this new system that we're launching is we have a database of thousands of emails that we have based on the people that signs up for our raffle system. We sent out an email to all those holders saying, hey, we're making some changes within VSP. We would love to get your feedback on what we're building. We got a ton of responses from that. And the survey just said, do you want to help us build the first ever digital sports reward program, which is what we're building right now. And we got, hundreds of responses saying yes. We sent all those people a follow-up survey with a brief breakdown on how the program's going to look like. And we said, let loose. This is what we have. Let us know what you think, the price point, what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what are your concerns. And that's what we're taking into account right now within, again, all conducted via email, Web 2 style, because we collected all those from the beginning.
Cool. Well, I look forward to that because I probably missed that. I'm glad you updated me.
I'll bump it to you.
Yeah. Would love to have you back on just to see where we advance within the next 6 months, because I know that this is just a cycle. Personally, I've been through many of them myself in crypto and NFTs being right now, unfortunately, native to Web3 people. And thanking you for, helping onboard, new people. That's where we see the fluctuation, because the masses are not in yet. Definitely. We're like before you were born, like when the internet just started probably. So this is just definitely a bump in the road in my opinion. And I can't wait for the spotlight to be back on NFTs. And with utility that you guys can offer with the new activation of basketball, it's easy to, well, I wouldn't say it's easy or else everyone would do it. It's easy to bring attention back to NFTs, when it's necessary. So
I would agree.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to what VSP has. I look forward to, going to some of those in real life events, and I'll put all the links for VSP, how to find you, connect with you. And I'm sure you're on Discord answering questions every day, right?
Yep. Always. If you ever need me, just tag me at MichaelG3 in the Discord. Again, always got to make sure that people are happy and informed.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on, Michael.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.